Joan of Arc, also known as the Maid of Orléans, was a remarkable figure who left an indelible mark on history. Born in 1412 in the small village of Domrémy in northeastern France, Joan emerged as a key player during the tumultuous era of the Hundred Years' War. Her story is one of extraordinary courage, unwavering faith, and her quest to liberate France from English domination. Joan grew up in a modest farming family, the daughter of Jacques d'Arc and Isabelle Romée. She had a relatively unremarkable childhood, but from a young age, she exhibited deep piety and an intense devotion to her faith. It was during her early teenage years that she began to experience visions and hear voices, which she believed were messages from God and various saints. The divine voices instructed Joan to embark on a mission to expel the English from France and ensure the coronation of Charles, the Dauphin, as the rightful king. Inspired by her visions and convinced of her divine purpose, Joan left her home and set out to seek an audience with Charles at his court in Chinon. In 1429, at the age of 17, Joan arrived at Chinon and met with Charles. Despite initial skepticism from the courtiers, Joan's unwavering conviction and her ability to accurately relay secret information to Charles convinced him of her authenticity. Charles granted her authority and entrusted her with the task of lifting the siege of Orléans, a strategic city that had been under English control for months. With her newly acquired position and a small army at her command, Joan set out for Orléans. Her presence alone brought hope and renewed determination to the French forces. Clad in a suit of armor and carrying a banner bearing the words, Jesus Maria, Joan led her troops fearlessly into battle. Her charisma, strategic acumen, and unwavering faith inspired the soldiers, and under her leadership, they achieved a series of victories that culminated in the successful lifting of the siege. The liberation of Orléans marked a turning point in the war. Joan's military successes and her unyielding resolve captured the imagination of the French people, and she became a symbol of resistance against the English occupation. Emboldened by her triumph, Joan convinced Charles to undertake a symbolic journey to Reims for his coronation, where she stood by his side as he was anointed and crowned King Charles VII of France. However, the tides of fortune soon turned against Joan. In 1430, during a skirmish near Compiègne, she was captured by the Burgundians, who were aligned with the English. The Burgundians sold her to the English, who saw her as a threat to their rule and sought to discredit her. Joan's captors subjected her to a grueling trial that was fraught with political machinations and religious prejudice. The trial aimed to undermine her credibility and legitimacy by accusing her of heresy, witchcraft, and cross-dressing. The charges of cross-dressing were particularly significant, as they were used to cast doubt on her claims of divine guidance. Throughout the trial, Joan displayed remarkable intelligence, resilience, and unwavering faith. She skillfully defended herself, refusing to renounce her visions or the divine mission she believed she had been entrusted with. Despite the stacked odds against her, Joan remained steadfast in her convictions. In May 1431, at the age of around 19, Joan was found guilty of the charges against her and sentenced to death by burning at the stake. The public execution took place in Rouen, and Joan faced her fate with unwavering courage, praying fervently to the very end. Joan's execution sent shockwaves throughout Europe. The injustice of her trial and the brutality of her death galvanized public opinion and led to a reassessment of her case. In 1456, a posthumous retrial was initiated by Charles VII, who sought to exonerate Joan and restore her reputation. During the retrial, the evidence against Joan was meticulously reviewed, and numerous witnesses testified to her piety, virtue, and the miracles attributed to her. In a momentous decision, the retrial declared Joan innocent of all charges. Her conviction was overturned, and she was posthumously exonerated. Joan's retrial marked a significant milestone in her journey towards recognition and vindication. Her legacy endured, and she became a symbol of French nationalism and resistance against foreign aggression. Her story captured the imaginations of countless individuals, inspiring artists, writers, and thinkers for centuries to come. In 1920, nearly 5 centuries after her death, Joan of Arc was canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church. She remains an iconic figure, revered for her unwavering faith, her extraordinary courage, and her determination to fulfill what she believed to be her divine mission. Joan of Arc's life and legacy embody the power of conviction, the triumph of faith, and the enduring spirit of heroism. Her story serves as a reminder of the indomitable strength of the human spirit and the profound impact that one individual can have on the course of history.